So I was gonna be more analytical in this video, but honestly, after reviewing the entire fight, there's no need. This entire fight was just literal eye candy. So let's get into it. Spoilers ahead, of course. Obviously. So first we start off with one of, if not the best performances by Ben Starr, and it's given to the character who needs a reality check the most, which is perfect because since the beginning of the demo, I wanted this to happen. Never hated someone in this game as much as her.
Joshua's every waking moment was spent trying to shoulder the burden that you and the Phoenix and the Duchy foisted on him. That's why I became his shield. To help bear the weight. But what did you do? You betrayed your own blood and surrendered your son to his fate!
Then after he gives his mom the talking down of a lifetime, we transition to one of the most raw-ass lines Clive has spit all game.
I am a shield of Rosaria. And I will do my duty.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
And before we even get into the fight, we get one of the most awesomest cinematic Eikon fight intros ever. And just like that, the fight commences. And let me just say, I'm super happy that we fought an actual dragon before this, just to see how much Bahamut scales in comparison. Because nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared me for how crazy it was. First part of the fight was just Aoife beating the brakes off of Bahamut, and there's not much to say until he tries to laser Clive point blank. Then Joshua comes in clutch, and we get another raw ass line from Clive. Like, man, if I had a nickel for every time Clive says something raw as hell, I would be filthy rich. Cause literally everything that comes out of this man's mouth is raw. And speaking of mouth, this leads into Clive getting Spitfire, which is his own fire laser, which was really cool. And I love how you had to use it as a gameplay mechanic and destroy the orbs Bahamut shoots out. And it's not even just a one-time thing like that giant rock titan through. It happens frequently, which I love a lot. Then nothing much happens until Bahamut uses Mega Flare. And we get Clive out of commission for a bit, which forces us to use Phoenix again. I love this part because I always wish that we could play as Joshua like we did when we fought Ifrit, because it was a real big shame if the only time we were going to play as Joshua was early in the game. But instead, they were saving it for this, which was hype as hell, and Phoenix gets his own theme back. Though you could say this part of the fight is mostly just cinematic, I loved it because it was just a different type of fight. Instead of what we usually do as Ifrit, we get something new, or I guess something we've kind of already been doing, just on a grander scale, I guess. Here we're dodging the various lasers, shooting down the orbs, all while trying to damage Bahamut with our shots while racing through the skies, which is super awesome and easily the best backdrop ever. And man, dodging all the mega flare shots was easily the most annoying yet amazing things ever. And then we get another cinematic, and I love how Joshua attacks Bahamut with his literal all, and Bahamut just emerges from the smoke with his shield completely and utterly unfazed.
Imagine shooting a man with your last bullet. And he stands there, unfazed.
He grabs Phoenix and slams him back down like a meteor through the sky, and you can tell this man means business. And he even tries to finish the job with another flare, but Clive jumps in and he gives another raw ass line already equipped and hits him with an explosion full force.
Thank the Founder!
And honestly, though they already did the thing where Bahamut emerges from the smoke, seeing it a second time is just so funny and awesome to me. Because it's like all this work we did was nothing to Bahamut, even making him more pissed off if anything. And it's just so Bahamut. It feels like I'm fighting one of the strongest, if not the strongest, FF summons in history. It's so cool, and his design is even cooler. And with that, we also get the most coolest thing in the game. Clive and Joshua working together. It's so great to see the brothers back together, and now even working together to fight Bahamut. And the transition from fighting Bahamut individually to combining forces is so well put together, and just the greatest thing ever. And it works even better since Bahamut is now going almost full tilt and is on his last legs, with the beginning part of his theme Ascension kicking in. And even his gameplay even changes up more to highlight this. We see him use more of his various types of flares, and we see him put more effort into his usual attacks too, which makes it hard for me to believe this is still the first part of the fight. But anyways, as far as this fight goes, I think while I liked every part of the fight so far, I like this one a bit more than the rest, as we get Joshua teaming with us and supporting us with his fire from behind and doing one of the sickest things ever. Like, the Spitfire laser was cool, right? But then Joshua takes it and says, oh, this isn't your laser anymore. This is our laser. And he even teams up with you when you use your other abilities, or I guess ability, which is sick as hell. And man, I've noticed how much I've been using the word sick and as hell in this video. I did mention that Bahamut's gameplay changes up quite a bit during this, but I failed to mention how cool his new moves are. And the sheer absolute destruction raining down is such a spectacle, and it goes so well with his battle theme. Like, the piano was going so hard as the guy literally tries to do everything in his power to destroy us, and it's so funny. Then we get the countdown, which you already know indicates that Bahamut is going to hit us with his strongest move. I even like how we have to go into Joshua's barrier to block this, and we get the craziest Terra Flares ever in the history of Final Fantasy. Like, half of my screen just goes white to show you just how powerful this is. And let me just say, FF16 goes crazy to show the sheer power of some of these moves, and this isn't even the craziest part of the fight yet. We eventually break back into a cinematic, and we get the sibling duo getting their own individual cinematic clashes until they do it together to break Bahamut's barrier, and this is hands down the most satisfying, rawest, and awesomest things ever. Which eventually leads into the ending shot of Ifrit and Phoenix standing like badasses, and it's so cool and such a great way to end this part of the fight.
What now?
This is drinking the ether.
We have to stop him. Stronger than this. Come on, Ifrit. Show us your true power.
Clive.
We can. And we will. Together. Are you ready?
Ready!
So if you're not a fan of the words, peak fiction, goat, raw, fire, click off of the video. Cause those are gonna come up like 50 times in here, man. I can't help it. The weights are off. On some Rock Lee stuff, the weights are off. I took them off. God almighty, am I so thankful to the heavens that I'm alive!
And finally, we are at the best and last part of the fight. And tell me why. Tell me why these two were fused. Why are they fused? Ifrit Risen is easily the coolest thing ever. You get Joshua, Clive, Ifrit, and Phoenix in one single crazy ass package. It's peak. And you fight Bahamut in space. In freaking space! All your moves are turned up times 10 in the cool factor. You get both Ifrit and Phoenix's skills, and the violin in Ascension is going crazy! This is hands down the best part of the OST just for how good it sounds. Then, as we fight Bahamut, he's just going crazy, using all his attacks from the previous fights, but just on a world level scale, like he wants to destroy the entire world with his fight with Ifrit. And I said it with Titan, and I'll say it again. This game captures the exact essence of what a summon fight should be. If I'm going to fight Bahamut, the literal sometimes god in the FF universe, it should be for the fate of the entire world, because there is no way he can shoot out Terra Flares with the impact of a solar flare and can't destroy the world if he wanted to. Sure, he absorbed the crystal, but this is what I'm talking about. This is what I wanted to see in a Bahamut fight, and this entire fight, especially this stage of the fight, has given me exactly what I wanted. No, what I needed to see. The cinematic. Special moves. Fight itself is like a battle for the entire world, with the literal planet Earth as a friggin' backdrop, while the symphony goes crazy. And it's so fitting that the name is Ascension, because yes, the user is a prince who is supposed to be destined to ascend the throne, also because of Bahamut's literal ascension. He ascends into the sky higher and higher till you're on top, the apex of the world, which is a testament to how powerful Bahamut is. Bahamut is now truly going all in, and it feels like if he gave it his all, he would burn the entire world itself, which is literally what happens, by the way, which had me going crazy at how hype it was.
I'm so glad to be alive. Burn the world.
Not today. Come on, Joshua.
So, overall, the fight is literal eye candy, but very good quality eye candy. I loved every moment and every segment of this fight. It rarely felt dragged out like the Titan fight, and every moment was peak. Though I like Titan's OST better initially, Ascension fits so well for Bahamut, especially when it ramps up and becomes god tier. And that hype puts it higher up the scale for me. I even like Dion's motive to going crazy, and how he was like Ifrit when he lost control, since he literally killed his own father. The story leading up to this was good, the fight was the pinnacle of Eikon fights, and the music and moments were god tier, with a satisfying fight that was so well paced. So yeah, the Bahamut fight was indeed peak fiction.